Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com. And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to our show number 1054. Coming to you direct, thank you. Coming to you direct from the Audubon Society of Rhode Island's Raptor Weekend here at Audubon's Nature Center and Aquarium in beautiful Bristol, Rhode Island, overlooking the sparkling waters of Narragansett Bay. We'll be talking with one of the presenters at this special weekend in just a couple of minutes, and we'll have our regular parts as well, including a featured feathered friend segment and Let's Ask Mike Live with Mike O'Connor on the Raptor-related topic of attracting owls to your backyard. We also have our Mystery Bird Contest, as we do each week, with some pretty terrific prizes. And we have a preview here of the Mystery Bird Contest. And Jesse, maybe you could get our Mystery Bird to vocalize a little bit there as part of our clue. Is that it? There must be more. I guess that's it. Our mystery bird fits the theme of today's show. It's a raptor. The male is pale gray on the back, lighter gray below. And although it doesn't wear shoes, it does have black wingtips. Got a rim shot. Thank you. The larger female is brown on the back and striped brown and white below. Our bird feeds by flying slow and low over grasslands and wetlands to capture small mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. Unlike other members of its family, our mystery bird uses hearing as well as sight to capture prey. The feathers of its face show a pronounced facial disc, much like that of many owls. So that's our mystery bird clue thing, and not the prizes, but we have the prizes here. One is a big bag of our favorite coffee, shade-grown, bird-friendly, and delicious Birds and Beans coffee. Every cup of Birds and Beans supports conservation because every bean is triple certified as Smithsonian bird-friendly, representing the highest standard for wildlife habitat preservation. And our other prize is from Fresh Cut Paper, makers of beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets that are wilt-proof and crafted to last a lifetime, and they have bird-themed bouquets as well. And we're so happy to have them, as well as Birds and Beans, because these are folks that are really interested in work on conservation efforts. And Fresh Cut Papers have a small fraction of the carbon footprint of imported flowers, and they plant a tree for every bouquet sold. That's our Mystery Bird Contest preview, so the actual thing coming along just a little bit later on. Right now, that's our Royal Salute music to one of the royal members of our Talking Birds audience. That is a member of our ambassadors family, helping us get the word out about birds and conservation. So our Royal Salute today is to Fran M. from Brighton, Michigan. Fran says, I've been watching birds for over 40 years, but became a serious birder after I started working in our local bird hobby shop, Wild Birds Unlimited. Looking forward to visiting the Birdwatchers General Store this September during our honeymoon reboot. We'll be staying at a B&B that we stayed at more than 44 years ago. Hoping to get some good tips from Mike O'Connor. I guess she means about birds. Love your show. I've handed out cards to my friends and co-workers, and thank you, Fran. Talking Birds listeners, we hope you'll consider joining Fran in our ambassadors family. It really is easy to sign up and easy to be a Talking Birds ambassador. just click the Get Involved tab at the top of the homepage on our website. That's talkingbirds.com, and you'll see how easy it is. Still to come today, we'll talk with one of the presenters at Audubon, Rhode Island's Raptor Weekend here in beautiful Bristol. Master Falconer Greg Martel will be with us. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike Live. As we mentioned, keeping with today's Raptor theme, it's about attracting owls to your backyard. And up next, also keeping with the theme, here's this week's featured feathered friend.
Bubo Bubo sounds like kind of a silly name for a powerful and majestic raptor like today's featured feathered friend. But Bubo Bubo is indeed the scientific name for our bird, better known as the Eurasian eagle owl. It's among the largest owls in the world, more than 2 feet tall, with a wingspan of more than 6 feet. And it's the world's heaviest owl, with the female weighing as much as 9 pounds. This bird's commanding presence is highlighted by its pumpkin orange eyes, tall vertical ear tufts, and dense black, brown, buff, and gray feathering that looks almost more like fur than feathers. Males produce a deep territorial call like this. This striking predator, which is found throughout much of Europe and Asia and parts of northern Africa, is a fast and powerful flyer, employing shallow wing beats and long glides. They also take advantage of updrafts, displaying a kind of flight similar to that of soaring hawks. Eurasian eagle owls usually hunt at night from a perch or while flying low over the ground or treetops, feasting on small mammals like voles, rats, and rabbits, as well as on woodpeckers, herons, and other birds, including other raptors. The Eurasian eagle owl is uncommon to rare across its range, and its population levels are in decline, but it is not considered to be globally threatened. And here's the alarm call, uttered by both sexes. Today's featured feathered friend, specially chosen for Audubon, Rhode Island's Raptor Weekend, Bubo Bubo, the Eurasian eagle owl.
Welcome again to our show, number 1054. Well, one common definition of falconry is the hunting of wild animals in their natural state and habitat by means of a trained bird of prey. But we have a falconry expert here who might expand on that definition for us. French native Greg Martel is a master falconer who trains and flies hawks, falcons, and owls for a variety of purposes, including hunting, education, and falconry abatement or bird control. In 2014, he created Masters of the Skies to educate the public about birds of prey and falconry, and he's presenting his Raptors in program here at Raptor Weekend. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, everybody.
Great to have you, Greg, talking about falconry, described as an ancient sport. How ancient is it, or do we know?
Well, depending on who you choose to believe, falconry has been traced to going back between 4,000 to 6,000 years old, potentially even older than that.
Wow, 4,000 to 6,000 years at least. So the definition of falconry that I read at the beginning, Greg, seems quite limited, as indicated by your mini bio there. So many folks know about falconry for hunting, but in addition to education, they might not know about falconry abatement or bird control. What can you tell us about that?
Falconry-based bird abatement is quite a new thing that we are doing with our trained birds of prey today. This is when we are going to fly or train birds of prey after nuisance wildlife. And nuisance wildlife could be anything from gulls to sparrows, starlings, pigeons, etc. Some of you, if you are in the New Jersey area, might be familiar with the boardwalk in Ocean City. where one of my fellow falconer actually flies his team of birds to chase away those pesky, annoying gulls stealing the food from people. So that's one of those things that we can do also with our trained birds of prey today. Mm-hmm.
Saving French fries and a whole lot more than that, sir.
French fries and ice cream. Mm-hmm.
So, Greg, falconry is not without controversy. What do you say to folks who suggest it's taking birds away from their natural life cycles?
That's a very good question. I believe that controversy only happens when people don't really have the right tools or the right information to truly understand what it is that we do and what falconry entails. When a falconer is going to trap or to acquire a bird from the wild during the fall, we are going to hunt with that bird during the hunting season. And then, come springtime, a lot of us are going to release that bird back into the wild. When we do this, we actually help that young bird survive their first crucial, important year, because keep in mind that young birds of prey have between a 75 to 80% chance of dying of starvation within their first year. But with the help of the falconer, they are going to actually survive that first crucial, important year, and they have much better chances to make it up to breeding age. Another thing I would like to mention is the fact that falconry is, besides hunting, falconry is mostly also conservation. A lot of people in the public are not really familiar with the name tomcade, but a lot of people are familiar with a pesticide called DDT. And I would invite everybody here to go online and research the history of DDT and the history of the conservation of the peregrine falcon. I always like to tell people today, guess what? If you see a peregrine falcon out in the wild, don't forget to think of falconer. Falconers are the ones who saved the peregrine falcon from extinction back in the 1970s. Also, I would invite everybody to have a good look at the Peregrine Fund, or better yet, go to Boise, Idaho to visit the place. This is one of those best places when it comes to bird education and bird conservation. So falconry is, besides hunting, bird of prey conservation.
Beautifully stated. Thank you, Greg. And we see people doing falconry, people like yourself, master falconers. Looks pretty easy what you're doing. But I know it isn't. But tell us, what can you tell us about, what you need to learn? How much education is involved to be a falconer? And what sort of discipline do you have to have?
So the first thing is this: falconry is a hunting sport. Falconry is the art of using a trained bird of prey to catch small game with. So you could be flying and hunting with a hawk, with a falcon. Few of us are going to be hunting with a golden eagle. But once again, falconry is about going out there during hunting season and catching small game. So the first thing you need is actually your hunter education class. And that's going to be a state requirement. Now, on top of that, you need your falconry license. You need to take and pass a test, which is all about falconry regulations, bird migrations, bird diseases, nutrition, that sort of things. I always like to tell people, a lot of folks believe that they have an interest in falconry after seeing a bird of prey show. Well, if you are really interested in falconry, we want to make sure that you get into it for the right reasons. And once again, the right reason is hunting with a bird. On top of that test, you will also have to have a sponsor. You need to find somebody who's experienced enough and who's going to take you under their wing, pun intended, and train you for at least 2 years. And for those first 2 years, you will be an apprentice.
Not quite as easy as I thought. Well, Greg, you bill your Masters of the Skies program called Falconry Experience as your most popular offering. We just have a couple of minutes, but could you tell us a bit about what folks would glean from what would the experience be?
Masters of the Skies is one of the 30, 35-ish places nationwide where we are licensed to give the public the chance to hold, fly, and feed the birds yourself. So instead of going to a place where you just sit in the audience and you just watch, you can actually be a falconer for an hour, for the day, for half the day, etc. So you come to us, you will put the falconry glove on, we will give you a quick history of falconry, and we will go out in the flying field, and you will get the chance to fly and hold the birds yourself.
Wow, well that's the easy part I was thinking of earlier.
That is the fun part.
That's the fun part. Well, Talking Birds listeners, you can learn about Greg's falconry experience and educational programs at this website address. I think it's a pretty easy one to remember. It's mastersoftheskies.org. I got that right? mastersoftheskies.org. Meanwhile, if you're hearing us live on Sunday, the 7th of September, and happen to be not far from Bristol, Rhode Island, you still have one more chance to see Greg's Raptors in Flight program here at Audubon, Rhode Island's Raptor Weekend this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Greg, thanks for spending a few minutes with me. Can't wait to see your presentation.
Thank you for having me.
That's Greg Martel here on Talking Birds. And up next, it's our Mystery Bird Contest. Thank you, Greg, in just 1 minute.
The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4-VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com.
There it is again. It's our mystery bird. This is the actual contest thing. No more preview stuff. This is the real deal. And as always, we urge you to call as soon as possible if you'd like to tell us what that bird is or take your guess. And as always, the drawing determines our winner if we don't get the exact answer. So call us at 781-837-4900. And I will give that address again in a moment. But I'll also give the clues. Our mystery bird fits the theme of today's show. It's a raptor. The male is pale gray on the back, lighter gray below, and it has black wingtips. The larger female is brown on the back, kind of striped brown and white below. Our bird feeds by flying over grasslands and wetlands, flying low to capture small mammals and reptiles and amphibians. Unlike other members of its family, our bird uses hearing as well as sight to capture prey. It has facial feathers that create a pronounced facial disc, aiding that hearing, much like the way many owls do. That would be the info about our bird, clue-wise and sound-wise. As we said, we're really proud of the prizes we present in our Mystery Bird Contest, partly because we think they're pretty great prizes, but also because they're from folks who really care about our birds and our planet. And prizes today include prizes from those folks. A big bag of our favorite coffee, Birds and Beans, shade-grown, bird-friendly, and delicious coffee. And from Fresh Cut Paper, makers of those beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets that are wilt-proof and have a much smaller fraction, have a very small fraction of the carbon footprint of imported flowers. So those are our prize. And we also have a bonus prize there, a feather-friendly bird window collision kit, if we have time for our bonus question. And that'll all be determined by your phone calls, which we hope you'll make now as we do our show live from Audubon, Rhode Island's Raptor weekend. Here's that number again, as promised. It's 781-837-4900. That's 781-837-4900. Meanwhile, it's Let's Ask Mike live in just 1 minute.
Hello, I'm Ed Begley Jr., and wherever you call home, the sounds of wildlife connect you with a greater family of life. That's why you shudder each time you see woods, marshes, meadows, or grasslands being destroyed. You know that countless birds and other wild animals are losing their homes, the greatest threat to their survival. Among the growing number of threats to wildlife, habitat loss is the most devastating. The Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust offers a humane solution, working with private landowners to protect habitat as permanent safe havens for wildlife. When you hear the familiar wild voices you love, remember, your voice is the one that can speak for wildlife and for the land they call home, ensuring that it stays forever wild. To learn more or to work with the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust, visit wildlifelandtrust.org.
In a kind of a primitive way, we're playing our Let's Ask Mike theme, and that's because without Mike's theme, Mike will not go on the air. We've tried it before, and he has steadfastly refused, so I'm hoping he heard that. Good morning, Mike.
I was just putting on my, lacing up my black wingtips, so I didn't really hear it.
You got the black wingtips, and you're not gray on the back, though, I don't believe. It's just on top. You're a little gray on top, I think. But
that's exactly right.
Sorry, you led me right into that. So, Mike, you're talking about attracting owls to your backyard, and that is by something other than just doing a screech owl impression or
right,
something like that.
There are several owls that. It depends on your backyard, actually. But a lot of owls are looking for nesting sites, and their breeding success depends on appropriate nesting sites. So if you live in a rural area, you live in an area that has fields or maybe farmland, you can actually put up a box. We're going to call it a box in this case. It almost looks like a doghouse. But for barn owls. Barn owls are always looking for a place to build a nest, and it's very limited now. So if you live in one of those areas, you could put up a box, maybe in your yard or maybe some adjacent property, and attract barn owls. And there's a really good website, barnowltrust.org UK, and they go through all the steps about putting out a barn owl box and how to do it properly. And in this country, well, not in this country, but in the wooded part of this country, in the forested parts, you can get barn owls to come in boxes just as well. You can put those up. I know barn owls a little bit of an issue with the spotted owls in the Pacific Northwest, but the rest of the area, if you're fortunate enough to have a couple of acres of forested areas, you can put up a box that will attract barn owls. Now, for the rest of us who live in suburbia, don't give up, because I live in a neighborhood, it's one of the worst neighborhoods there is. All heavily developed, heavily landscaped. I don't like any of it. But even I get screech owls. So you can put up a box to get a screech owl. Some people are lucky enough to get saw-whet owls, but screech owls readily come to boxes. And all these boxes you can get and put up now because the birds have finished nesting. They're looking for places for next year, and screech owls use the box year-round. You can put it up today. You could have one tomorrow. It's not going to nest in there till spring, but they'll come and they'll roost in there, and you can see them at sunset or sunrise. But if you do all these things, my customers run out and they see an owl show like maybe they're having there. They run out and put up a box. But take some time, do a little research. There's a lot of videos, a lot of instruction things online how to do it properly, because you want these birds to have a successful nesting season and not just have a box for the sake of putting up a box, but hopefully they raise a family in there. So there's 3 owls you can do depending on your habitat, but anybody can put up a screech owl, any neighborhood, and they'll likely come. And don't use mouse or rat poison if you have mice, because that's what these birds do, and they won't last long if people poison the mice because they ingest those. So
well,
that's my story in that. Yeah.
That's some extra good advice there. What was that source again? Was it a website for more info about
Oh, website barnowltrust.org UK, and you can search anything; it'll pop up. The other thing is, if you want to do screech owls, there's an excellent book, The Screech Owl Companion. The Screech Owl Companion. It's a book, and it goes step by step on how to do it, what to expect, and it's like. So check that out at the library or your local bird store.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks for being on with us, especially from Raptor Weekend here. Can we give some applause to right in the audience here for Mike? That shows what presence you have, Mike. You're not even here and you're getting applause. That's pretty good. All right, Mike. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Have a good trip. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mike O'Connor, the famous Birdwatchers General Store, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And we're back to the Mystery Bird Contest. Maybe we could hear it one more time. There it is. And that number is 781-837-4900. And we have Debbie calling in from America's hometown of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning.
Good morning. How about in Plymouth? You got a little rain there in Plymouth today?
A little bit of rain.
Just a little bit of rain. We have that here in Rhode Island as well, but we have our mystery bird as well, and I think you heard the clues and such. And what do you say, Debbie?
I say it's the Northern Harrier.
The Northern Harrier. Anyone here in the audience think that is correct? The Northern Harrier. Everybody thinks it's correct.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you're all wrong. No, just kidding. It is indeed the Northern Harrier, formerly known as the what was that name they used to? Oh, the Marshhawk, of course. Yeah. And now, of course, the Northern Harrier. Well, nice job. What's our time here? We have to see if we have. I think we have time for a bonus question. Would you like to try one? And that would be.
I'm ready.
All right. I hope we didn't already use this, but Debbie says we didn't, so I'm sure she's right. A new study by Oklahoma State University scientists reveals that some species of songbirds are starting their days about 20 minutes earlier than in past years and stopping their vocalizing about 30 minutes later, effectively making their days almost an hour longer. What do the researchers suggest is the reason for this extended period of activity? Is it A, the greater availability of food due to the increased use of bird feeders? B, the greater availability of food due to warming temperatures? Or C, unusually or unnaturally bright skies caused by light pollution? Which one do you think, Debbie?
I would say B.
B, food availability due to warming temperatures, which sounds like a reasonable and perfectly logical answer, but they say it's because of the unusually or unnaturally bright skies caused by light pollution. So there you go. And I want to say thank you to Dr. Jim Randolph for telling us about this study. By the way, one of the researchers, Dr. Gilbert Pease from Southern Illinois University, says that what this exactly means for the birds isn't known. It may be, he says, that more light means birds have more time to forage, resulting in more food for nestlings, or that the light has a detrimental effect by interfering with sleep or seasonal hormonal cycles. Sorry to end this call so quickly, Debbie, but we're out of time. Thanks for calling in. Congratulations. Our show, we're out of time here from the Audubon, Rhode Island Raptor Weekend. I want to say thanks to our Debbie Bleacher, who also served as our on-site producer today. Also, Freya McGregor and our producing engineer, Jesse Wilkins. Special thanks to Candy and Chris Powell for their help in getting this remote broadcast on the air. I don't think we could have done it without them, and I don't want to even think about it. I'm Ray Brown. See you next week.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.